So today I'm doing a presentation on the SDG 1, which is no poverty, and we're going to look at Germany and see how we can, or what is currently the issue and what can we do about fixing it. So the current situation in Germany, there's a relative poverty rate of around 16 to 17% of the population, which is at low risk of poverty, which means below 60% of median income. There is also children in poverty, which means 21% of children are affected relative to Germany. Elderly poverty rising, which is rising due to pension gaps. Working poor, 9% of employed people are affected by low wages and insecure jobs, and then also regional disparities. So there's higher poverty rates in eastern states and urban centers. So challenges to achieve SDG 1 include rising cost of living, housing, energy, food, pension system pressures, aging population, low savings rates. And then the third challenge would be integration for refugees and migrants. Some of the government strategies include basic unemployment and welfare assistance and child benefits to support families, and also labor market and wage policies. For example, the German government raised the minimum wage to 12 euros an hour in 2022, job training programs for unemployed and low skilled workers, and equal pay initiatives to reduce gender wage gaps. Um, so let's see here. So how to strengthen towards SCG 1? Some things would be increase the minimum wage further, expand child benefits, affordable housing expansion, improve access to education, so reducing disparities in school funding and digital access, strengthening the pension systems for elderly people, so that would prevent them to be impoverished by increasing their pension contributions, and uh, creating an inclusive job market to improve integration programs for migrants and refugees. So what the community and individuals can do is volunteer with local poverty relief organizations, support social enterprises to create fair job opportunities, etc. So Germany tracks SCG 1 indicators through multiple things like federal statistical office reports, national strategy for sustainable development updates, and more. And so now this is the X-Mine chart that I did. Might be a little hard to see, but I am going to break it down for a little bit. So the main thing is leveraging global information technology, or GIT, for SDG 1. So there's four main things, which would be data story of poverty in Germany. So what the poverty in Germany looks like currently, and then the role of GIT in data analytics and AI and blockchain for welfare. And three would be the solutions to address SDG 1 challenges, like data-driven decision making. And then four would be implementation. So for the first part, I said high relative poverty, like I said earlier, 16 to 70%. Um, Despite how Germany is an economically strong country, there's still poverty, just like the United States. And then children poverty is also a big deal. And then the role of global information technology would be data analytics and AI. So it could help predict trends and optimize resource allocation. And then smart employment programs like AI driven job matching for low income workers could be also beneficial. So for solutions, I said data driven decision making. So big data analytics. So predict poverty hotspots, improve resource allocation, and then machine learning for policy impact would be a good way to do it. So evaluating effectiveness of welfare programs, real-time dashboards, and tracking poverty metrics and adjusting interventions dynamically. And then B, another way would be financial inclusion and blockchain for transparent welfare distribution. So reduce fraud, improve efficiency, digital microfinance solution like AI-driven learning for low-income entrepreneurs, and decentralized universal basic income could be a solution. Kind of iffy on that one, but I put it in there anyway. And then C would be AI and automation for social support, like AI chatbots for welfare guidance and reduce bureaucratic complexity. automated benefit and eligibility systems, so streamlining access to social support, predictive analysis for homeless prevention, early intervention strategies, etc. So for implementing this would be public and private partnerships. So collaborate with tech firms for GIT solutions, like with AI and blockchain solutions that I was talking about on the third one. So the public and private, government and private companies would collaborate together, and then funding from international development banks, and then supporting digital inclusion projects. So that pretty much sums it up. Um, and then for some of the solutions, I put up on another slide. Um, excuse me. So one would be economic and employment solutions. So increasing the minimum wage further, promoting fair work and secure employment, and expanding support for low income workers. And then the second one would be social welfare and injection expansion. So modernizing the social welfare system. So simplifying it using digital automation, and also expanding child support and family benefits. So increasing Kindergeld, which is what I referenced earlier, which is child benefit for low-income families, and provide free meals in schools and daycare centers for children in poverty, kind of like how the United States does it in some places, and also enhancing pension reforms for elderly poverty reduction. The third one, I said affordable housing and cost of living support. So expanding public and social housing programs. So increasing the state funded housing to meet demand in urban areas and provide rental subsidies for low income individuals, kind of like Section 8, how we do it in the United States, and introducing rent control policies. So rent regulation in high cost areas to prevent gouging and rent. And then subsidize energy and utility costs would also be helpful. And then for the fourth one, I said education and digital inclusion. So improving access to free and quality education. So expand the early childhood education programs for disadvantaged families and increase state funding for digital education in low income communities. And then bringing in AI, you can do e-learning for low income families because you can make it open source, so that low income families still have a way for learning, like developing AI driven personalized learning platforms for skill building could be a big one. And then expand free internet access would be on the table as well by 2030. So provide free or subsidized broadband to low income families, which would help with the AI e-learning as well. And the last one would be financial inclusion and digital solutions. Um, so digital banking for low income households could be helpful. So it could help microfinance what they're working with, and would be a lot easier because it's digital. And then you could use AI for social policy decision making. So data driven insights to optimize policy effectiveness and allocation of resources. That one's kind of like in the air just because AI is not new now, but it's still relatively new in terms of government. So it's still kind of on the table about how government would use that to their advantage. But that's just one of the solutions that I thought of. And yeah, that is my presentation. Thank you.